feel right here. Oh, okay. So let's just notice, I just want you to let yourself feel that. You know, because a lot of times people have never let themselves feel an emotion. You know, in 12 steps, there's one saying that makes me completely crazy, and it's move a muscle, change a thought. And I'm like, no, don't change the thought. You know, I mean, like in addiction, I mean, the only way to recovery, you can't go around it, you can't go above it, you can't go underneath it, you have to go through. And however you find a way to do that, the thing about these trauma healing therapies is that you're actually you're using invitational language to give the person a way to explore and experience what that is in their body. And people have, you know, amazing breakthroughs because all of a sudden they're like, oh yeah, you know, people will come in and they'll say, oh man, I relapsed, and they said, oh, what happened right before that? Well, I was getting dressed. I had a guy that was coming to treatment, and he knew we were going to do trauma work, and he didn't show up, and so I asked the office to call him, and he was in his driveway. He had drank after 6 months. He drank whatever he could find in the house, and he was in his driveway, in his pickup truck, about to go to the liquor store to buy more booze. And I said, get him on the phone, let me talk to him, you know. And I said, what? And he's like, I don't know, it just happened, it was just like out of the blue. And I said, okay. And I said, what were you doing? And he said, well, I was getting dressed to come to see you. And I said, okay. I said, so anything happened when you were getting dressed? And he's like, well, it's really weird because my hands started shaking when I was like buttoning up my shirt. And I said, yeah. And I said, why do you think? And, you know, we went through this whole thing, and he said, because I don't want to come talk to you about my trauma. He said I was afraid. And I said, yeah. And he said, that makes complete sense. And then, long story short, we were able to identify, and it was something really big that he wanted to tell me, but he was also afraid to tell me. So, you know, long story short, I got him to get out of the truck, wait for his wife to come home. He came in, you know, later that night. We had a session. You know, but the point being is that addiction is the result of the inability to know how to feel safe.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say that one more time because it's really, really important to me. But addiction is the result of the inability to know how to feel safe. When I don't know how to feel safe in my body or in my environment or, you know, around the people, we talked a lot before about intergenerational trauma. You know, there are many of us, you know, because of race, because of gender, that don't feel comfortable